Today, we are pulling back the curtain on one of the most powerful, yet kinda hidden, forces on the entire internet. We're talking about an industry that didn't just pop up online. It actually shaped the digital world we all live in, while at the same time tapping into a fundamental glitch in our ancient human brains. All right, let's get into it. So what's this number? 7 billion. Get this, that's not the population of a continent. That is the number of visitors to just two major porn websites every single month. And that scale, that sheer volume, isn't just a weird fact. It's the key to understanding how the modern web was built. Because as our source material lays out, all that demand did way more than just generate traffic. It actually funded and fueled the technological revolution that gave us the internet we know and use every single day. So let's start right there. How exactly did this industry become the secret engine for so much of the technology that we just, well, take for granted? I mean, look at this list. What's so wild is how normal it all seems now. Secure online payments, high-def video streaming. These are the building blocks of the internet. But these systems were developed, they were perfected to serve the massive and incredibly demanding audience for adult content, often 5, even 10 years before the rest of the web caught up. And that brings us to the central paradox, right? If porn drove so much of the innovation we love, why is it so often connected with dysfunction and addiction? Why is something so wildly popular also seen as so destructive? While the answer, as our source material explains it, has absolutely nothing to do with morality and everything to do with biology. It's basically an exploit, a hack of our brain's ancient operating system. The very same system that makes us crave a greasy burger or lose hours scrolling through an infinite social media feed. And this is where we get to the core theory of this whole explainer, this idea of an evolutionary mismatch. It's the concept that our brains, which are hardwired for a world that doesn't exist anymore, are seriously struggling to cope with the one we've built. And this is really the key to the whole thing. For basically all of human history, our brains evolved in a world of scarcity. Calories were scarce, new information was scarce, sexual opportunities were definitely scarce, so our brains gave us this huge reward for seeking them out. But today, we live in a world of insane abundance. Our ancient programming is still screaming, more, more, more. But now, more is literally infinite, and it's breaking us. So the most important takeaway here is that this isn't about a failure of willpower. It's a fundamental conflict between our hardware, our brains, and our environment. This mismatch is the root of so many modern problems, from obesity to digital addiction, and porn might just be the most powerful example of this conflict in action. So let's get specific. How does this mismatch actually play out? What are the direct consequences of tapping into this endless stream of novel pornography? Well, the source breaks it down into 5 key areas of dysfunction. But before we get to those, we have to understand this core principle, what the source calls the law of escalation. It's simple. Just like with any powerful drug, the brain adapts. What was exciting or shocking yesterday becomes normal today, and that pushes the user onto what's called a hardcore treadmill, where they're constantly seeking more intense, more extreme novelty just to get the same chemical rush. So these 5 dysfunctions, they all kind of build on each other. You've got the physiological side, where the body gets used to a very specific, intense stimulation that real life just can't match. Then there's the psychological impact, the cycles of guilt and shame. Escalation, we just covered that one. Then there's the spectator effect, where you get so used to watching that you feel totally disconnected when it's time to actually participate. But that last one, neurobiology, that's the big one. And here is the core of the hack. Think about it. Evolution designed that dopamine reward for sex to motivate us to do all the incredibly hard work, attracting a partner, competing, building a relationship, you name it. Porn completely short-circuits that entire process. It gives the brain the prize without ever having to run the race. And over time, the brain learns to prefer the easy, unearned reward, which can absolutely crush the motivation to go out and get the real thing. But it's not just about the direct effects on our sexuality. Our source points to another, less obvious, but maybe just as damaging, consequence of living in this digital world. It's about what's missing from the whole experience. So just think for a second. In the messy, difficult, real-world process of dating and relationships, what's the one painful but absolutely necessary experience that online porn completely eliminates? Rejection. That's it. The person on the screen never says no. Access is always guaranteed. There is zero social risk involved. And, while that might sound pretty good on the surface, it comes at a huge cost. Because learning to handle rejection, whether it's in dating or in a job interview or when you're trying to do something creative, that's how we build resilience. It's how we build confidence and mental toughness. It's basically life's essential training ground. And by offering a perfect escape from that training, porn can leave users feeling less prepared and a lot more fragile when they have to face the real-world challenges that are, inevitable. Okay, so given this deep evolutionary mismatch, how can someone actually regain control? The good news is the source doesn't just diagnose the problem. It offers a really practical 4-step plan to break the cycle. Now, this plan, 8 focuses on concrete actions, not just vague willpower. It's all about structuring your life to make the good choices the easy ones, finding a powerful motivation that goes way beyond "I should stop this," creating a less harmful alternative for when the urges hit, and then finally, making the most powerful change of them all. And let's just dig into that first point because it is so critical. The source argues that relying on willpower is a losing game. It's like a muscle that gets tired or a battery that just runs out. Instead, you need to be an architect of your own environment. Delete the apps. Put a book where your laptop used to be. Do whatever it takes to make the good behavior the path of least resistance. And this brings us to what might be the most effective step of all. Our brains are all about context. We build habits that are tied to specific places and specific times. The source uses this incredible example of soldiers who were addicted to heroin in Vietnam, but they quit almost effortlessly when they came home. Why? Because all the cues were gone. Changing your surroundings, even just moving your desk or rearranging your bedroom, can be enough to disrupt the automatic loop of a really powerful habit. And so that's where we'll end. At the end of the day, this isn't just about porn. It's about social media, it's about junk food, it's about any modern product that offers an infinite supply of something our ancient brains were programmed to crave like crazy. And it leaves us with a really fundamental question for our time. In this world that's been designed to exploit our ancient wiring for profit, who is truly in control of your desires?